Want to bring the pain everywhere you go? Well, today I'm going to be updating my flak crit build, and boy does it wreck. SFL, this is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're updating our flak crit build. As you guys know, he did get a bit of a nerf, and one of the most notable things that he is lacking on is the amount of ammo he's able to consume due to the fact that they changed a couple abilities. So we are updating a couple things within our crit build, but before we get started, I do want to remind you guys about our giveaway. We're giving away 4 free copies of Ghost Recon for the system of your choice. To enter and participate, it's super easy. All you gotta do is click the link down below and you will be automatically entered. With this particular build, guys, you're gonna be able to do any sort of content. You'll be able to do bosses, you'll be able to do mobs, you'll be able to do slaughterhouse, proven ground, anything that comes your way, you'll be able to just slap it silly and call it a day. Now we're gonna dive into the skill tree, and then we're gonna be talking about items that you're gonna need required. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into the skill tree. We're gonna start off with Stalker because we are gonna be using a lot of the fadeaway skill. As you guys know, that is the one that got a little bit of a hit, but other than that, we're still should be good with this particular build. We're gonna start off with self-repairing. This is gonna maximize our health and give us our health regeneration, making us really good for late game content, not just boss killing, but also for killing other stuff other than bosses. Then we're going to go with Ferocious Attack. We're going to dump in 5 points to this. It's going to increase your gun damage and your handling as well. Plus, it's going to give you the Ferocious Attack kill skill that you're able to stack up 10 times. Then we're going to go with Eager to Impress. This is just pretty much going to reduce the cooldown for your pets and also your action skill. Next, we're going to go with Turn, Tail, and Run. What this is going to allow us to do is to have damage reduction while we're moving, and we're also going to be having health regeneration when we're moving. In addition to that, if you're standing still, the gun damage will be increased by 25%, and also your fire rate will be increased by 12%. Then we're going to be dumping 3 points into the Fast and the Ferocious. This is going to allow us to do, it's going to increase our gun damage and also our movement speed. Remember, the more we move, just like that, the more we're going to be able to recuperate our health. So we want to have that nice movement speed activated there. Then we're going to dump in 5 points into Hidden Machine. What this is going to do is just going to increase our damage. Next, we're going to be unlocking our Capstone. What this is going to allow us to do is just going to give us a little bit more damage for our pets and for ourselves. And if we're full health, it's just going to double our damage. Next up, we're going to be picking up an ability from the Master Skill Tree, and that is going to be Persistence Hunter. It's just going to increase the gun damage and action skill duration. We're going to be dumping 3 points into that. Now let's move on to the Hunter Tree. Now for the Hunter Tree, we're going to be dumping a total of 5 points into Interplanetary Stalker. This is just going to do the conversion of the enemies from humans to robots to beasts, and it's going to give us damage based on those different types of enemies. So we're going to be dumping 5 points into that. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into Hunter Kill Skill, and this is just going to give us the reload speed whenever we kill an enemy. Plus, it's also going to give us a increased critical kill score when we also kill an enemy. We're just dumping 1 point to that. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into Hunter's Eye. What this is going to do is going to change the enemy types. Remember, we already dumped 5 points into Interplanetary Stalker. And with this one, what the Hunter Eye will do is just going to make everybody into a human, into a beast, and into a robot, allowing us to get those additional crit shots and the armor damage and damage reduction. Next, we're going to be dumping a total of 3 points into Head Count. What this is going to allow us to do is that anytime Flak scores a crit hit, it has a chance to reduce the cooldown of your action skill. We're going to try to proc this as much as we can, especially if you're trying to do high-end content. You want to make sure you're proccing this as much as you can. So picking the right guns is always going to be crucial for this particular build. And I'm going to show you a neat way to actually get those crit hits. So you guys are definitely going to want to check that out. Then we're going to be dumping a total of 5 points into Two Fang. Flak has a chance to fire an extra projectile per shot. This is actually pretty effective, and it does proc quite often. So you have a 25% chance. And, you know, I've noticed that it actually works very often. So really good one to pick up. Then we're going to go and dump a total of 3 points into Big Game. And this is a Hunter skill. What this is going to allow us to do is just going to increase our Hunter skill effectiveness and duration. And then we're just going to be dumping 1 point into the Most Dangerous Game. It's going to increase our gun damage, our critical hit damage, and our handling for our weapon. Why are you only dumping 1 point into the kill skills? Well, let's take a look at our items, and I'm going to explain why we're doing that. All right, so now that we're in our inventory, let's take a look at the weapons. Now, there are some weapons that I have here that are my personal favorite. I just love using Jacob weapons when I'm running with Flak. Now, that's just my particular preference. just due to the fact that they seem to have a lot of crit hit damage and they have boost to crit hit damage. At least some of them do. I'm going to give you guys a couple weapons that I think are pretty much a requirement to make him really OP. And then I'm going to give you guys an option to ones that you might not want to pick up or might want to change them a little bit different. Now, one that I really like a lot is the Hand of Glory. The reason why I like the Hand of Glory is the fact that it does a damage of 1,000 damage. It's really good for a AR. Plus, it's going to give me a bonus of plus 10 critical hit damage. Now, this one in particular, guys, it's not like a must-have weapon. I just like having it. Plus, I love having that extra plus 60% melee damage. When you're playing those high-end contests and you have those enemies flying at you, it's nice to be able to melee them and get that plus 60% when having the gun equipped. Another cool thing about this weapon is if you crit hit, one bullet will ricochet to the nearest enemy, which makes it really fun. Now, this is not a requirement. You could definitely go with something different, but I would like to suggest it for you guys to definitely try it out and let me know what you guys think. The next weapon, which I believe should be a requirement, is because this weapon has a really high explosive damage, and what tends to happen when paired with the grenade I'm about to show you, it actually gets crit hits, which is really good for this build due to the fact that we want to proc our action skill as much as we can, so getting those crit hits is going to be extremely important. This is the Burning Flacker, and this one comes with the Fire Burn. Now, if you guys have one with higher damage, let me know what your multiplier is and what that damage is in the comment section down below. The next weapon that I definitely do consider a requirement is the Unforgiven. Now, you're probably wondering, Laser, why is this a requirement? The reason why this weapon is particularly a requirement is due to the fact that when you go down, because sometimes you will be going down with this build, it's not like a tanky build. This is more for doing a lot of crit damage and outputting a lot of damage. So this one right here, if you ever go down and you need to kill an enemy super duper fast, this is the weapon you want to do this. That's the only reason I have this weapon equipped. If I go down, I pull this one out, it's just make either one shot or two shots and the enemy's completely dead and I'm back from life. Last but not least, I have the Lucian's Call. Now, this is not a requirement because you could go with the Roland's as well, but this one's a really good one to hit those crit hit chance. Plus, in addition to that, the bullets also ricochet when you get those crit hits. Now, the one I have right here is not like the God Roll one. My damage is a little bit low for this one, but I highly recommend you guys try this one or the Roland's. Now, if you are killing bosses, of course, the Layuta is the way to go. All right, so now let's talk about the requirements. They're actually going to be 3 requirements for this one. Now, your shield is not like a major requirement that you have to get the Transformer. You could use any other shield for this. You could get the Transformer. You could also use the Recharger. You could use the Black Hole. There's a couple other ones that you could use that are really good for this build. It doesn't really matter. Something that you feel comfortable with. I like the Transformer. I like having that high shield capacity, and the Transformer does that for me. But you could go with anyone in particular. Now, the requirement that you are definitely going to need to have, of course, is going to be your class mod. And you're going to be looking for the Bounty Hunter. Now, the one you're going to want to get is the one that comes with +2 orange, and 1 blue. There is another one that comes with a +2 orange, a +2 blue, and a +1 orange. You want to make sure you get the ones that have the double +2 with the orange tree. This is very important because it's going to give you more probabilities to make sure that your build is optimal. Now, if you remember earlier in the video when I said we were only dumping 1 point into our kill skills, was for this particular mod. The reason why this mod is so important is because it says it has a 3% chance to activate any purchase hunt kill skill when dealing gun damage. So you'll be able to proc your kill skills with this particular mod. All you have to do is just put 1 point into that kill skill. That's the reason why we went with this one. Another thing that I love about this one is that bosses are now treated as human, beast, and robotics for Flak's hunt skill, which makes it really OP. Now, one thing that I would like to change for this particular build, now this one in no way is a God roll. The reason why this is not a God roll is because of my attributes. I wish I had maybe a +31 AR damage or a +31, hand cannon damage or grenade damage. Anything that would give me more damage or more crit hits, I would greatly appreciate it right here if this one had that one. But as of right now, I don't have any of that one. If you guys have one and would like to share, hit me up on my Discord channel. Or if you need anything from this particular build, hit me up on my Discord channel. We'll be more than happy to send those out your way. You know what we're going to do? In the comment section down below, if you need any of the stuff that I have currently right now in my build, leave it down below in the comment section down below. Put your epic name and we'll pick some random person and we'll send it out to you guys. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed and that you like this video. Now, next up, guys, another requirement for this particular build is the elemental projectile. Now this one is very important that you get the elemental projectile with the damage boost of plus 183 if you're running the guns I'm running. If you're running more incendiary weapons or any other type of weapons, you might want to go with the bonus that gives you for a particular element. I just like running this one because when you're doing Mayhem, you kind of don't know what type of element's going to be nerfed or buffed. So it's very good to have this one and know that you're always going to have that plus 183 on the weapons that have no elements. I do like the fact that this one comes with a plus 16 incendiary damage, a plus 40 flight for life duration, and a plus 149 health per second, so it makes it really, really good to have in your inventory. Now, one thing that makes this really OP is that when you get damaged by an element, you will be able to output a little bit more damage when you're getting damaged. So this is a pretty good way to melt those bosses. If you want to melt those bosses with that nice crit build, you're going to be able to melt Grave Ward super duper easy because this is what allows you to do that once you have that elemental damage. Next up, you're going to want to make sure you have this grenade right here, the Merv Hex. This is really good for mob clearing. It's going to give you that nice addition of pulling everybody together and just causing a ton of damage. Fire, corrosive, or radiation works really good for this grenade. You can even go with shock, but you're technically going to be able to knock the shields off with either running radiation or corrosive. So really effective grenade to have, and that puts the whole build together, guys. Trust me, you're going to be able to kill Graveyard super duper fast with this particular build, and you'll be able to do any end game content with this build as well. We are working on a pet build for Flak. Which pet would you like to see first? Let me know in the comment section down below, and make sure you guys check out all of other videos for all the other characters that we've put up, which have some really, really good builds.